Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a support session and trading review for October the 12th, 2022. So market's been pretty active these days with the concern about inflation and interest rates and those sorts of things. Let's just kind of take a look and see what the daily ended up being. So it ended up being, I mean, it was kind of a down day when we first started. It ended up kind of down, even though it kind of went back and forth a little bit. What the biggest scenario was, you can see it on the big picture chart, is after the producer price index at 530, the market didn't like it. So that was right about there. So you can see it fell down, and it really kind of went sideways all day long. We were trading around the open during here, but now that I look at it, I didn't trade anymore. But the market really didn't do much of anything today. Volume was high. They're just all kind of waiting. So let's go back. I want to take a look at the daily one more time. I don't think we broke it. No, we still haven't. We still haven't broken this pivot area down here. We're scaring it. We're scaring it, but it hasn't broken it yet. So maybe it'll try to form a bottom in this area, and then try to bounce. So we were coming from, that bad news when the market opened, and the volume was pretty good when the market opened. So here we've got pretty good alignment, and I did kind of wait a little bit. Sometimes it seems like it wants to bounce, and it did bounce up and then back down, and then I took the first trade there for 1.5 points, and then took actually another trade here. It's already kind of far down, but it was continuing to go. I took a second trade there for 1 point. It looks like I think it would have gotten 1.5, but then it did a pretty good rendition of a V-shaped reversal. All right, I didn't trade it until it got back above the open, and looked like it was going to run away from the 3-minute moving average and also the volume point of control. So it looked pretty healthy, and so that was my third trade. So I was up 4 points in about 6 or 7 minutes. So then I was trying to slow down a little bit, and didn't trade until right into the 7 o'clock time frame. I think was my next trade. So not market wasn't doing too much during here. So this is right before, no news at 7, but this is sometimes it gets that little push right at around 7. So again, it's breaking over the pivot point again, and I took that one again only for 1 point. That put me at 5, and then I got really picky, whereas I could have, probably, I was really kind of waiting. I could have probably taken a trade through here. I was already at 5, and I just didn't want to get, didn't want to push it too much. So I ended up taking a trade that wasn't as good, right? But it still worked. It was still kind of coming for the bottom area. So here's this area down here, right before value low. And so I took the trade up in here before value low, right? But it did have to cross yesterday's close again. So I got that trade for 1 point. So that was 6 points, I believe. And then I think there's one more trade that it went sideways a little bit here, right? So again, it's breaking down. Where'd it go? This one. Breaking down again off of a pretty big bar coming from good areas. So I took it here. It was kind of going into the 3-minute close, so it did have to think about that. I was kind of worried about it some, but it did end up working for 1 point, and that was my 7 points for the morning, and really got them all before 7:15. So there were some other trades that would have been available. I just went ahead and went into profit management mode. So clearly, trend is still down. I mean, it was, taking these trades would have been okay. coming back up, taking maybe after it punched through here and then went back up. This trade would have been an area. Hang on, I'm adjusting my. So my pointer. So coming over, so in this area would have been a pretty good one to take along. Maybe even this area, but you see that was a big bar, and usually you want to let it pull back a little bit before it does that. I mean, there were more available. I just wasn't really trading that much. I mean, this one looks pretty. This short looks pretty good, right? Breaking back down here on a downward trending market. That one will look pretty good. This one is market is starting to kind of slow down here a little bit. I mean, it would have all worked, but it was kind of slow. Let's see, we're coming into the 8 o'clock hour. You could have punched through there, right? Adjusted the volume point of control. You could have gotten through there, right? Had another one as it approaching the breaking through back to EMA here again. And it's above all of them. You could have taken that one. So there was more available. I was definitely just in kind of profit sharing or profit protection mode. I'm kind of looking for some really good alignments. If you gotten, that one's going in minute average. I don't necessarily love that one. So just really wanting to everything. Oh, this is a pretty, well, this was kind of consistent. This is after 8:30. This is kind of consistent, right? Kind of shot up there. So hopefully, guys, hopefully you're kind of seeing what I'm looking for in these alignments. The software is not quite. I didn't get a chance to work on it today. I don't think there's too much work to do. I just have to do the final compiled versions. I want to go through everything just to make sure. I wanted to the little. Not really a trick, but what I did in multiple locations. I just want to see if there's any more of those. It's a ever so slightly improvement, maybe. It's just eliminating a function call and setting a variable, just doing a function call once per indicator. Probably isn't going to improve it too terribly much. I did remove the ATRs, so on the 1 minute boundaries, it will have slightly less to calculate. Really not too much. And I still really don't have an explanation for why people's software is slowing down a little bit when you don't show the 3 minute and the 2x20 and those sorts of things. I think it must be some artifact of multi-charts that is not directly code related. So I just can't see the overhead that's involved in those. So we'll try it again. I mean, we'll do this release. It's going to be released this weekend. You guys load it and we'll see if it's still there. I don't know, maybe I jog something. I doubt it. It's probably a multi-chart. There has been some Windows 11 updates, lately. It could be related to that. We shall see. So anyway, that's really all I've got for tonight. I'm just kind of didn't get too much time to work on it today, but I'll try to get some work done on it. Make sure I get some work done on it tomorrow. So maybe I'll be running final compiled versions of the software after we get done trading tomorrow. So I'll have that, and I'll watch it the rest of the day Thursday, watch it Friday, and see where we go from there. And heading for release over the weekend. So all right. So any questions about any of that? Okay, very good. All right, I'm anxious to get the software out. Not a big change. I mean, so I was working on the things. I didn't necessarily like them. So just this one kind of addition, and it'll help you a little bit more visibility. All right, so have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.